Good morning and welcome to Preparing to Survive and Thrive Homesteading channel with Charlie B. So, what do we got going on today? Well, the other day I was at the grocery store and I saw all these avocados that were on the for sale bin. So, I'm going to see if they're any good. The Hess avocado, and they've got them soaking in some vinegar water to just make sure if there's any pesticides on them, they'll come out. And there's also a bigger one, which it's not named, but there you go. So we have two different types. We are going to be freeze drying these guys. I'm going to give them a slice and I'm going to give them a squirt of lemon. So here we go. I'll bring you down so you can see what I'm doing. So here's the avocado, and with these I've already cut it, and you just turn them and you end up with a seed half and one without the seed. As you can see right here, there's some bad spots on it, so all I'm going to do is just dig this out and put it in a bowl and make sure that it's all out. There we go. And then just going to slice it right here. A couple slices. I can always add extra slices to them if I want to. And I'm just going to slowly pull these guys out, go around the shell, inside the shell with a knife, and it'll just start to fall out like that. And this way I can also make sure that if there's anything that's bad on them, that I can also cut those out. Now you see how pretty and green these guys are? I don't want these guys to go too brown, because that won't be very attractive in my salsa when I go to make it, or avocado. It's not, put salsa in with my avocados. How about that? Does that sound better? And there's a little bad spot that was hiding, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. I'm going to make these fairly small in slices, just to put up here. And the way I'm going to keep them from going brown and all yucky looking is I'm going to take a little bottle of lemon juice and give it a squirt. Yes, I know I'm making a mess on my trays, but that's okay. But this is lemon juice. I'm just using the real lemon juice that I buy at Giant or another grocery store. And then I just take this and I just squirt it on the tray on top of the avocado slices. Okay, so let me get to work on this and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so we're down here in the basement with our freeze dryer. I'm going to turn it on. I just plugged it in. I never leave it plugged in. I'm hoping I just turned it on. Oh, there we go. It's initializing. So I'm also, while this is starting to come up, I'm going to close the drain valve. Okay, now I'm going to shut the door and lock it. And I'm going to hit start. I'm going to tap that a little harder. Now it needs to cool the vacuum chamber for 15 minutes. Why this is cooling, I'm going to go upstairs and finish cutting up the avocados. Okay, so I've got some nice, really nice and green here, and then, unfortunately, there are some that were really, really ripe, but I'm trying to save as much as I can, and I'm just pulling them out more or less in blobs like I would do cookie dough. I'm just going to put these on the trays, and then they'll go in the freeze dryer. So, the ones that aren't real pretty, I'm probably going to be putting them in like smoothies, just grind them up. And I'm spraying some more lemon juice on these guys. And then we're going to get them down in the freeze dryer. See, they're already starting to turn a little brown on some of these, but they'll be good. They don't have to be perfect. I'm not trying to win a contest. I'm just trying to create more storage of food for in the future. Also, avocados are very high in fat, so these are not going to store for like 20 or 30 years. These are going to store for a few years, maybe 5, but I'll be using them up to make some guacamole and different things like that. Throw them in smoothie, soup, and people that don't like them won't even know that they're eating them. Ha ha. So, we're heading to the freeze dryer. Well, we're down here in the basement with the freeze dryer, and I've got the trays loaded. I'm going to shut it up. And this says up here, it says, sorry about the shaking. I don't have any room down here to set up a tripod, so I'm hand holding this. It says load food into freeze dryer and close drain valve. I already did that. Now I'm getting it going, and we are off. So it says it's freezing. Let's see what it does. We'll be back. So Blackie, the black freeze dryer, has said the process is complete. So I'm going to open up the valve and see if our avocados are nice and dry. Sorry about the noise. Open up the handle here, turn it. It's been drying for 18 minutes, or 18 hours and 25 minutes and 39. I did up the freeze dryer time for another 4 hours because I didn't really trust it. Thing seems very dry. All of them are warm. Now I'm going to go ahead and test one of these to make sure that they are. Well, they're sounds crispy. They feel dry inside. So before I shut this off, I am going to take these guys upstairs and check them out better, and we'll meet you up there. Okay, so this is what they look like. Let's see how they crunch. This is a thick piece. I'm going to save one of these out to try it. And those were the ones that were nicer, and these are the ones that didn't get sprayed in time, so, and that were really, really ripe. Yep, very dry. They almost feel like styrofoam, so I'm going to go ahead and get these guys. I'm going to probably put more than one tray per bag. I'm going to get these guys bagged up. Okay, so I'm going to start with these guys. Make sure that they're coming off. Make sure that they're not wet. Because if they're wet, we'll be up, yeah, you know the word. I'll leave that one out. So these are the ones that I'll probably end up just rehydrating and then putting them in like a salsa mix to make guacamole, or maybe I can even powder them a little bit more and make them more into put it into some soup just to add some extra fats or nutrition into the soup. They are so light and so airy. They just feel like pieces of little styrofoam I'm picking up. Of course, I'm checking these as I pick them up to make sure I don't feel anything wet or anything cold. If you feel anything wet or cold, you need to put them back in the freeze dryer. That's why I did not shut the freeze dryer off as of yet. So I'm going to get 2 trays per bag, and that's okay because I can reseal the bag, or if I use most of them and just have a little bit left, I'll put them in mason jars, sorry about the noise, and seal the mason jar. Ooh, I almost dropped that. There we go. Everything's falling. I'm not going to allow it. This is what the bag looks like. I'm going to fold it down. I'm going to put it over here so I get the other ones off. These are the prettier ones that actually have, that were sliced up better. Let's see how they sound. I think we already did this, but hey, I'm going to put one of those down too so I can eat that, try it out, see how they taste. I'm actually surprised these dried as fast as they did, because I figured that it would have taken minimal 24 hours, but I didn't have the trays very full. Sorry about the noise in a minute. Like I was saying, I was for sure that they would take minimal 24 hours, and I actually did an extra 4+ hours on the trays just to make sure they were dry, because avocados are so full of fat. So there we have our second bag of the prettier ones. Okay, so I'm going to take you over so you can see us seal them. So we're going to start off with vacuum sealing these guys. How I do this is we need to put something that is rough in the bag in order to get the bag to seal, to suck the air out. I'm taking it that you have to have the rough part for the air to escape. I'm going to put it in the center, and the pieces that were whole, or the whole pieces, not the balls, I did mark WP on it for whole pieces. Let me get this in here. Sorry about the noise. Okay, I stopped it because it was really pulling the air out of this, and I don't want to crush these pieces. Once it's done sealing, I'm going to take it and use the actual Harvest Right sealer, which I'll bring in there in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and seal this one. The vacuum sealer is awesome. It does great work, and the only thing of it is I don't think it seals the bags quite enough to make them last as long as they will. Now these will not last as long as some other foods because this is higher in a fat content. I'm going to just put this right down there. I'm going to close it up. Sure it's locked. I'm going to vacuum and seal it. Okay. That one I really didn't have to stop. It was pretty much done. That's awesome. So I'm going to bring you a little closer. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and heat seal these guys. Now these have oxygen absorbers. So I put 200 cc's in each one of them, and I'm double sealing this. So there's one done. Let's get the other one done. Now, if you don't have one of these sealers or yours happens to break, you can, believe it or not, use a one of those flat irons or a regular ironing iron. Okay, so now they're done. Let's talk for a minute. Well, here are our two bags of avocado. We have one that's more in the whole pieces, and these are kind of like the balls. Okay, so they're vacuum sealed and heat sealed. So let's try them out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try the one that was just a little bit maybe overripe, but very ripe. So how do they taste? Spongy. That actually has good flavor once it gets in your mouth and starts getting some water. It's actually pretty good. Very, very good. I'm amazed how much that retains the flavor. Freeze dryers are amazing. Let's try one that's the pretty one. Another one. Amazing. Sorry, drinking water. That's one thing. When you are eating freeze-dried food, whether it's fruits, vegetables, you're just eating them as snacks, have lots of water, because the freeze-dried food will actually absorb the moisture from your mouth and take it. But there you go. So there's even a taste test. You know how I love those taste tests. So I'm going to get these labeled and put them in the stores. So what are you up to? Are you putting anything in the stores? Are you freeze drying or maybe dehydrating anything? So I do need to get my dehydrator out and start dehydrating some other things. So remember, if you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. And Charlie B signing out. Oh, I almost forgot. We have an affiliate link for Harvest Right. So if you're interested in their products, please take a look. Okay, I'll leave it in the description. And again, if you like my content, like, share, and subscribe. Charlie B signing out.